This is the Crew 2. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is the open world racing experience from Ubisoft where you go across the United States and enjoy a plethora of different locations across major cities and get to drive just a massive selection of vehicles across these unique locations, which is rather exciting. This was succeeded by the Crew Motorfest, which took players to Hawaii, and this one still has quite a bit of a charm to it in terms of getting updates and support long term, just in general seasons and everything like that that allow players to continue to come back and enjoy a ton of content. I mean, this game had a ridiculous amount of support to it, and it's been around for a very, very long time. And it actually got some updates, like a current gen upgrade not too long ago. Well, a while back at this point. And then they improved that a little bit further, which was a little bit of a surprising bit of news for me. And yeah, I thought we'd come back and take a look at it on the PlayStation 5 Pro and talk about what we have to offer with this game. So yeah, drive across the United States, lots of different places, lots of different people to meet and see and interact with, everywhere from Los Angeles to Vegas to, I think it's like Miami, like Florida over there, yeah, and then New York and Detroit, and you can just, like, it's just open, and you can drive however you kind of want to. You can drive in a car, you can then, like, on the fly, you can become a plane, which apparently I don't have a plane, I guess, to own. And then you can also become a boat at any point, which kind of is telling me that I need to go buy a boat and a plane. But yeah, you can become all these different types of vehicles, and I primarily played this on the Xbox side of things, so it's more about showing it off here on PlayStation. So yeah, we get two different graphical options here with their current gen improvements. So it's actually, like, as far as performance mode goes, we actually got a higher resolution here than the last time I did a video on this, which is interesting. So this is the resolution mode, I think, as you can tell with the performance level. So it's a dynamic 4K at 30 FPS. So, not necessarily the best way to play a racing game, a high-octane action racing game, but, it's an option for you. And then we have the performance mode, which, like I said, is actually a little bit better than it was last time around. So for performance, we actually now have 1440p at 60 FPS, and it is buttery smooth, which is kind of funny. Because yeah, last time I did it, it was like, I think it was like a 1080p mode, but they got it up to 1440p at 60 FPS now, which is great, obviously, like, it looks nice. It's still, like, it's an older game, right? Like, it's impressive because it's a massive open world. Yeah, I know about changing the cameras. So, like, getting a higher frame rate and getting a decently, sized resolution is kind of really appreciated. Sized resolution, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's a good resolution quality, honestly. It is a little, there's some spots where it's a little jaggedy and, like, again, textures and stuff like that, a little bit aged, but like I said, for a game that's old, getting this kind of support, it is just kind of showing how great Ubisoft is for that in regards to, like, keeping the existing library of games, of their games kind of going and everything. And I don't know, it's just kind of appreciated that is an option. And of course, it's a pretty big game, I think, in my opinion, but, all to their own, and, like, how they enjoy their racing experiences. And like I said, you just get to drive across, the world of the United States. You go to, like, the downtown areas, you buy all these different things, and there's, like, just tons of different vehicles across different categories, and it's really, really neat. And you can improve and customize your vehicles, and you got your profile cars, and then you can go and buy stuff, and there's, like, hundreds of vehicle options. Like, it's honestly kind of ridiculous because there's just literally so many things you could have. The season pass boat only got like $9,000. I'm an absolute peasant. Okay, we should probably go do, like, a race or something like that. Fast Trip Street Race. I mean, that sounds fun, I guess, but yeah. And then there's other like kinds of like cars and stuff. Like it's not just like, oh, you know, you get regular cars, but actually it's different stuff. Airspeed. Remember, there's like something to go do. And then there's all this other coordinated stuff where you can basically do like live events, and then on top of that, there's all these little smaller things going on. Like the game just has like a ton to it. The sleeper. Let's sleep it away. But it's cool too because it's like it's sort of, you know, capturing like the world too. Like a lot of the locations are real like places and stuff, and they're in the game, which is kind of neat. Like the Los Angeles like convention center and everything is like an actual place in this, and I've been there and I'm like, oh wow, it's actually like really close to, which is neat. And
gonna take some time to get more people to see.
yeah, it's gonna take some time to drive. And then, you know, of course, with the modern kind of desires of people, you're trying to build like a fan following, and you do this by racing across different events, and there's lots of different difficulty options. And yeah, you just kind of build up, personalize, enhance, and just make your name out there. Like it's a game, it's obviously pushing like for online stuff, and you know, it's all like live integrated, but I think there's quite a lot to enjoy about this one in terms of just gameplay and stuff. Like it's fun, it's easygoing action. Obviously, Motorfest is like really tuned for the PlayStation 5 Pro, and you know, I do have a video of that on the channel, but I was just kind of like, oh, okay, let's go take a look at the Crew 2 and talk about what it has to offer, and you know, kind of showcase it again, because it is something that is a lot of fun. I think it's a pretty nice looking game. It's, again, it's aged a bit, like, you know, it's something of its time for sure, but yeah, getting this like resolution and frame rate improvement is just it's just nice. I think I wish more games kind of did that. Racing games in particular, because racing games, you know, you only got a small window. Oh, that's not good. You only got like a small window in regards to like how long your racing game actually is available, right? Because licensing deals for music, cars, and all that kind of fall out, and with this being like a long-term live service thing, I definitely think they've worked on that a little bit more, but it is just kind of sad fact of doing, you know, this type of a game, or releasing or playing this type of game, is they don't typically last forever. But this game has had a wealth of long-term support, let's put it that way. Like, it has definitely been around the bends for a long time, which is great. I am completely out of this race, aren't I? Like, I'm so far off, I don't even think I'm going to be able to, like, catch up. Like, how far are these guys ahead of me? 14 seconds or so? It's like I should just kind of redo the whole race. There's no... I don't think there's a way I'm going to catch up with, like, the 55%. I guess I'll kind of try to get up there, but... that is deadly. Oh, look, people just trying to sell hot dogs on the side of this race. Yeah, I don't know about this. No, we're kind of, they're like right around the bend, but that is quite a thing to come up on. But it is interesting though too, that like the technology of this game, like I remember seeing it at like PAX 17, and they talked to the guy that did the clouds, who's very excited about the volumetric cloud technology in this. But what I was really, you know, kind of building up to is the fact that like it is genuinely amazing that you can just switch between these different disciplines. Like cars are at the forefront of this game for sure, but it is kind of uniquely amazing that they're like, you can at any point when you're not doing these races, obviously this is like preset, but when you're doing, you know, out in the open world and stuff like that, you can switch between a vehicle being a car, and then you could be a plane, and then you could be a boat, and then you could be a plane, and then a car, and you know, at any point you can make all these cool little setups and videos and things. Why did it get so bad? I just had literally caught up to them, and now I'm like failing utterly bad again. It's heartbreaking is what it is. Wow. Where is the option to restart this? I press the start button, I don't have it. Wow, that is a special kind of pain, Ubisoft. That's not cool at all. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's just give it another whirl on this one. That's pretty heartbreaking. Yeah. And of course being all online, right? You can like interact with your friends and drive around, or you could just like I guess it's like a bit of a passive online too,
Wow,
so you
your
can
sleeper car
interact
just
with
woke up
others
in a
and come
big
across
way.
other people. It's a really unique setup, right? Like it's really, really cool. Just the idea of this. And I was always kind of I was always kind of anticipating them to do something new with
That
it.
car's really moving.
If that makes sense, like I was always expecting them to kind of like do another evolution of it where they continue to make this area more like larger, more detailed, more cities, more stuff like that. But yeah, they went with the spin-off for Motorfest there, which actually I think was pretty smart because that kind of cuts into the it's like PlayStation's sort of lacking that big, I would say like open world type of like fun casual kind of game, and you know Motorfest kind of fit that Forza Horizon sized hole that PlayStation had. But obviously now that Xbox gave up and they're adding like Forza Horizon to the PlayStation, obviously that's going to be a big it's going to be a really big deal, right? And it's going to go head to head with Motorfest because like Motorfest is great, like it was a lot of fun, you know, crew, design, gameplay, fun loop, but yeah, Forza's just like on another level there. So it'll be interesting to see how those compete, but I wanted to just kind of mention that you know, is the game that exists, Motorfest. And it's like this, and it's very, very good. So if you like this style of it where you go across the US, if you want to have a Hawaiian adventure, this is actually pretty good. You know, lots of different like content updates and stuff. But yeah, I was kind of anticipating that they would keep... Are you serious? Wow, that was incredible. I guess I should use his NOS.
Is a loadout like that?
I always forget about having. Seriously, where did that guy come from? Yeah, I was kind of expecting them to innovate upon this technology and kind of build it up a little bit further, do another, you know, big across America thing and just kind of make it crazier. Because that would be the idea, is over time you would get larger and larger and capture more and more, and yeah, it makes sense. And yeah, definitely hitting that US market, right? Quite well for wanting to visit these main cities. But the Hawaiian thing, I totally get it, you know. It's fun, it's exciting, interesting. It fits with the thematic entry of this too, because it is about like, you know, the American rides and stuff. And yeah, they've got different like, obviously they work with different manufacturers, so you get different car brands, but they usually do like events and stuff. Like they'll have live events where it's like, oh, the magic of Ferrari or something like that, or oh, Porsche. And yeah, it's an interesting setup, and then yeah, it's just like it's a pretty proficient racing game. This is the biggest thing to get across, is like this game is at this point like a very, very feature and post-launch complete sort of thing. Like they're still, you know, they're still doing stuff, but like the amount of like the wealth of content you get jumping in and playing this now is genuinely impressive. Okay, so what he does is he takes that shortcut over there. Didn't even think about that. Very, very smart. Yeah, I'll never be able to win it when he's got like a shortcut like that. That is really, really genuinely impressive. I mean, it's an AI, so it's programmed in, but you know, get what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I quite like playing this one. There's some good quirks to it. It's got some neat surprises, some good challenges. It's cool that you can drive anywhere. Like, it's a game that's very, like, free, if that makes sense. Like, you don't have to do anything.
I'm sure it's gonna come in handy.
Did I just pick up Loot Crate parts to make my car cooler?
Street racing's got history. It didn't start with us.
Yeah, there's a big history of everything and stuff like that. Oh, we're gonna be in the downtown. I might show off some of the downtown Los Angeles area. Like, obviously it's not, you know, it's not like a perfect recreation of it, but it kind of gets the gist of it pretty well. If that makes sense. Like, I think that's pretty fair to say, is that, like, it genuinely gets the gist of, the areas and that. So I wanted to find the convention center and think about where we are here. It's funny because it's like, it feels quaint and simple now compared to the later game, but it's still pretty like visually like good, and then the frame rate and stuff with this is quite appreciated. I'm not really sure where specifically we are in the... Oh, wait. Is this what I've been looking for? Sec, I gotta zoom around here. Got this, let's see, can we cut around? Yeah, let's see, get to lots of places you maybe shouldn't be able to get to, which is fun. No, this is a different building than what I thought. I think we're too far north, you gotta go a little bit down to get to the convention center. See, I don't know the LA area that well, but I know all the stuff from being around it. You go do a few E3s and that, and it's like you see all the spots. Yeah, we're kind of outside the downtown. You gotta go down this way, and then cut back into the downtown, and that should be what I'm looking for. Really, I can't go through this fence? This is ridiculous. It's open world racing for you. But you get all these different, like, city locations, right? Like, we're just in Los Angeles, but you could spend all this time driving to all these other different places across the states. Like, I think, in theory, someday we'll get something like this, but in, like, if you've heard of Microsoft Flight Simulator, you'll get something like this, but it'll be, like, generated from Flight Sim. You'll just be able to drive anywhere in the world, and that will be really, really cool. You can fly anywhere in the world, but driving is a little bit more complicated. There's the convention center. It's to the back left there. I've driven too far off. Can we go off? Yeah, there we go. Open world racing, yeah! Lots of fun. Yes, this is what I wanted to showcase, is the Los Angeles Convention Center. And this is like, again, it's not like perfect, but it's really quite on par, especially with what I saw at E3 over the years. Like, I'm sure they've built this up a bit more since then. Like, I think the convention center is the same. Convention center is, like, really needed to be redone. Like, it was painfully aged. But, yeah, this is basically the exact design of it. And then these buildings were going up last time I was there, but I'm pretty sure they're probably all, you know, up and functioning now that, you know, so many years has gone by and stuff. It's kind of wild. You know, you get old and everything, right? If you don't have events taking you places, you don't tend to go back all the time. And then there's Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. And then, yeah, you just seamlessly end up driving anywhere you want, right? Like, it's just kind of an amazing concept that we're able to have games like this, honestly. Like, it's really, really cool that this exists. And that they have fun with it, too. Fashion Mall. Oh, that's kind of funny. Because obviously from, like, a legal standpoint, it would be a bit of a pain to, you know, have all this kind of stuff, like getting all the actual buildings and that.
Which means there's a live reward nearby.
The Excalibur. That's the hotel I always like to stay at when I go to Vegas for stuff. They do the medieval feast. It's a pleasure.
Radar only works when you're on the move. So get rolling.
Yeah, but anyways, so it's a really cool game. It's a lot of fun. It looks pretty good visually at this point. You know, it's pretty impressive. It's full life quality. It's not like it's at end of life, I would say, either. Like, I'm sure it'll be around for quite a while down the road still, but yeah, if you're kind of wanting to get into it, it's nice. If you're wanting to revisit the game, obviously having the higher resolution paired with frame rate is just fantastic, and it's a pleasure of an experience to dive back into and talk about every now and then. Because it's not something I thought I would be doing that with, but
every time you set a record,
yeah, it's kind of nice. Connect, Ubisoft Connect. Oh,
a chance to beat you.
Always wanted me to do all this stuff, Ubisoft. Where was my Creed Shadows for PlayStation Code, Ubisoft? Where was it? But no, seriously, where was it? But yeah, the Crew 2, lots of fun, very good experience, good handling, good racing, and I don't even know if I really showed off. Like, I feel like we're just touching the surface in terms of like the stuff going on in this, because obviously you can race for hours, enjoy the world, and just do an endless selection of activities and work through tons of content. It's ridiculous.